Right guys, welcome back to the shed. Saturday morning. Long time no see, most of you. Today, just going to have a little natter, only a short video. Going to call it a Sata morning. Sata spray guns are available, we all know the sayings. However, the last sort of 12 months, I've sort of become more aware of how long a Sata spray gun really lasts, and that's the key thing. That's probably what we're going to talk about in some respects today. Going back 2 or 3 months ago, I've done a series of videos on the mini jet spray guns and pros and cons with various different ones. I also told you guys about when you buy a spray gun you really need two. You need to separate clear coat from base coat, whether it's solvent or waterborne. You need to keep them separate if you want some nice painting results. At that time I did show you my Sata Mini Jet 4400. This one is a 1.0 in HVLP. This gun, as you can see, I don't know how good the camera's going to pick everything up. This looks absolutely brand new. All the knobs and controls, I've not replaced any seals, I've not replaced anything in the gun whatsoever. It's on the original needle and nozzle kit, it's on the original air cap, it's actually on the original baffle seal inside, because I never over tighten the guns when I put them together, and if they're going to be parked up for a couple of 3 weeks at a time, just leave it loose floating around. There's no need to create another pinch on that baffle seal if it's not going to be used. This gun, I'm pretty certain you won't be able to see it, but I'll try and see if I can get it closer for you. There's actually a little barcode here, and it's actually date stamped 2010. So that is a 7-year-old gun in prestige, brand new condition, not a seal changed anywhere. So obviously with the reliability of something like that, why would you change? Why would you use another brand? I'm not knocking any others. I've got some SRIs, I've got LPH 80s, Iwatas. They're all about the same really. They all stand out as being good quality reliable guns, but at the moment, as I say, I'm sort of favouring my Sata stuff. That has made me so impressed. My 4000s, my 5000s, I've got a pair of each, exactly the same, still on the same kit. So with that in mind, HVLP, high volume low pressure, we're all aware that if you do a wall of air test on a HVLP, the wall of air test is quite close to the gun. So to get your benefits of your HVLP, to get most of your material onto the panel, you need to be very close. So there's a very wide spray pattern on this gun that starts very close to the air cap itself. So you need to spray very close quarters with this gun. Now for me, eyesight's going a little bit. I find that a little bit difficult. If you're working on recesses in bumpers and trims, the places that you would use a small gun, to get that close, it's very easy to get a run on. It's very easy to miss places. To get my eyes where I need to see what I'm painting, I need that little bit more clearance, a little bit further back from the panel now. So even though I love that to death, I've been and bought a new one. I shall still use that one most days, but I've just been and bought another one. So to get your gun further back from the panel, so you're not quite so confined to space, I've gone for the RP. This one I've chosen a 1.2 setup, because if you're doing some spot repairs and you want to blow in a whole fender, a whole wing, a whole bumper bar, whatever, this has a big fan, and this will be as close to a big gun as you can get, but in a smaller size. So this is the 1.2 RP, reduced pressure, not HVLP. So when you do your wall of air test on this one, you will find that it's about 2 inches further back. And that 2 inches makes a lot of difference. This one I've chosen the same finish as my Sata 5000, which is this pearl chrome effect, which I quite like. It looks like an anodized type finish, but it's actually pearl chrome. Once again, beautiful gun. I'm expecting lots and lots of years of use out of this. I always rig my guns up with a genuine Sata air pressure gauges. Buy a quality gauge, don't buy a cheap one. Don't buy one gauge and swap it for 15 different guns. Buy a gauge per gun, only a few quid. The amount of time that you'll save changing guns over, and you'll wear threads and damage the threads on the bottom of the gun, and then when you start replacing that, you're into sort of big money. So this one, as most of my guns I buy these days, just buy them direct from a quality supplier. Spray guns direct I try and use whenever possible for anything. There's the last week or so on YouTube there's been a lot of talk about fake guns, and to be fair, wherever these fake guns are coming from, they look bloody good. They absolutely look pucker. You've really got to study them a lot. I actually picked one up by mistake myself. I got a what is it? It's a W101 Iwata. Didn't buy it from a reputable place, just bought it because it was a bargain price. I've used it for a year, fine, it's not faulted. I thought I'll buy a different setup, so I went and bought a genuine setup from Sprayguns Direct. Setup doesn't fit the gun, and then I find the machining in the front end of the gun is very, very slightly, and I'm talking of a few thousandths of an inch different. So now when I put the new genuine kit in, I've got air bubbles into the top, into my paint, into the tank at the top. So there's obviously air escaping from behind the fluid tip back up into the pot. So I put the non-genuine kit back into the gun and it doesn't bubble. So there's machining differences, even though to look at it's got a hologram on, it's got a code on the side of the gun, but it isn't a genuine part. So yes, with the fake guns that's out there at the moment, they are making them really good. Machining techniques have come on a long way. The gun looks the same, feels the same, the weight is the same. So how do you know you've got a good one? And the best example is to go and get one from a reputable dealer with a warranty. This one, I put the serial number into Sata's website. You get a premier warranty with it for 3 years. And the price of this, if you speak to the guys at Sprayguns Direct, they do a price match throughout the country. And they better the price match, so you won't get one cheaper anywhere else. So there's no point going anywhere else. So go straight to Sprayguns Direct and just buy a genuine one. These 4400s, one thing which is great, unlike the original, the 3000B mini jets, the actual size of the pot connection is full size. So if you wanted to use this, say on a bumper bar, and your little 200ml pot is not enough volume, show you. The actual pot from the full size gun fits straight on. And likewise, you can use the small pot on a big gun if you want a big finish but only a little bit of paint. So I think that's been an absolute cracking idea by Sata. So yeah, that gun, I won't tell you exactly how much I paid for it, because no doubt the amount of items that you buy from Sprayguns Direct, you may get different rates of discount. So I'll be unfair to the guys for that, expect them to sell these to everybody for the same cost, but it is cheap, and a lot cheaper. I would say a third cheaper than what they're selling for on eBay. These are fetching £330 or so on eBay, and they're not that to buy from a dealer. So it's crazy going anywhere else really. So that was my second gun. As I said a few months ago, we were talking about all sorts of guns, and I mentioned 2 or 3 guns in the past that I bought and regretted, so I ended up buying them back at a later date. GTIs, GTIWs, various different guns that I let go and I shouldn't have. When Sata brought out their Sata 3000, as if you probably remember, I did make a comment that I sold my Sata 2000 to get the 3000, and didn't actually get on with the 3000. And I think that was probably more me just not giving it time to find a nice setup that worked for me. I think if I'd have kept it a little bit longer, I think I probably would have done. But straight away the 4000 came out relatively soon after, so I bought the 4000 and that was cracking straight off the gun. That didn't need any sort of specialist setting up. You didn't need a notebook of settings and things so that you could replicate what you've done before. So yes, the 3000 wasn't for me, and I regretted selling my 2000. So I've been looking for probably about 18 months for another 2000, and this last week I've got one. Brand new, in the box, sealed up, still with all the toolkits and books and everything, totally unopened. So there it is, I've still got the label on it, sorry. So yes, I've managed to buy another 2000 RP. This is a 1.2 RP. I love the 1.2. I'm a little bit of a slow painter, as I probably said before. I don't like a big cannon of a gun that's throwing loads and loads of paint on. I prefer to take my time and get the best finish possible. So I found a 1.2 is the best for me. I can go slower. If I need a little bit more orange peel, I can just turn the pressure down slightly, so I can get a 1.3 or a 1.4 finish just by slowing the gun down and lowering the pressure. But this one, absolutely brand new. I've just put the pot on for the first time. As I say, these were expensive guns at the time. This is the this is the RP Digital 2. This was the last version that was made. These were made, I think, between 2001 and 2006. So it is an old gun, but it is absolutely brand new. This has the same quick threads for easy cleaning. Same as the 3000. I think the 3000 was pretty much this gun with a very different, slightly more modern, we'll say, casting of the handle. But this one, as I say, I love the two. And this one, obviously, digital gauge. It all works lovely, as you should for a new one. I did buy a battery kit and replace it before I tried using it, because obviously a gun that's 10 years old, you're foolish to try and think that that battery is going to be serviceable. You possibly might have caused corrosion and things inside the battery housing, so we don't want any of that. So go and buy a genuine Sata battery kit if you put one of these into service, because they are old guns. Digital guns, I think I've mentioned it before. For me personally, I actually like the analog gauges because they're foolproof. If it goes wrong, you throw it away. If these go wrong, it's almost throwing the gun away. I know Sata will repair them. We do actually have to consider fire hazard from battery packs and these digital gauges. It's always best, if you can, send them back to Sata. They'll put your battery in, change all the seals, send it back to you all serviced and guaranteed not to go up in smoke. Every time you change a battery, they give you a new seal and a new cover. So even though this gun was brand new in the box, I bought a genuine battery in a kit. I've unscrewed the battery cover, replaced the battery and put the new seal and cover back on. You must bear in mind that we are in an explosive environment with fumes, with flammables. You possibly might think a little tiny battery like this, would it cause a spark? And we don't really know. So the best thing to do is just £15, that's all it is, £15 for a battery and a cover. And I think the last, well, my Sata 5000 is, I think it might be 4 years old now. I'm still on the original battery, so they will last. So you can see that, it's rather nice. So I was well impressed to actually find one of those. And obviously the version 2, which this one is, has got the swivel bottom as well, so your airline doesn't tangle. That one, I think they were £350 or something like that when I bought my first one. I managed to pick that up for £160. So yes, expensive, but I absolutely love this, and I'm really looking forward to putting this back into service and using it, because I won't be putting this in my collection. As I said before, some of the jobs that I've done that I got a lot of praise for was done with that gun. So now I've got another new one back. Let's see if I can do some more nice stuff. Right, that's it. I'm not going to chat much more. Hope that was interesting to you guys. So yeah, a bit of a Sata morning there. By quality, as I say, I'm not going to knock Iwata or Vilbis. Same accounts to them. Quality guns. Don't buy cheap and cheerfuls. Buy good guns. Once again, buy two. One for base coat HVLP, one for clear coat RP. As I say, that new, the 2000 is going to be a clear coat gun only. I shall put my base coat when using that gun on with my Sata 4000 with a WSB setup, which I think is a 1.25. It's quite a specialist base coat gun for waterborne paints. So I'll use that for the base coat, that for the clear coat, and give my Sata 5000 a little rest for a time. So yeah, that's it. Hope that was interesting to you guys. Bargains to be had out there. Buy good stuff, get good finishes, and crack on and paint what you can. See you again shortly.